Welcome, welcome. So this video I've been wanting to make for a little while. It's pretty late. This cycle's from quite a long time ago. But I was away for a little bit, and then after I came back, I've just been dealing with some stuff, so I never got to make this. I'm not sure how useful this will be because Lantern looks like she's going to be on the way out of the meta for most players. If you're older anyway, not super old, but old enough to have her sort of human ego, you're probably going to be using her on everything now except for fire up Mobius. So I think Lantern will be out of a job for most of us. But for the people who still need to use Lantern, hopefully this video is helpful. Even I learned something when I watched this run, and there are a couple things that are going to be specific to this weather. The weather is the Shadow Star weather, which is or Shadow Environment weather. Sorry, all characters in the field take 15 more deal 15 more total damage. Characters also deal 30% more total damage for 15 seconds when Shadow Star attack hits. There is some tech that is specific for this weather, whereas the rest of the tech is just how to play Lantern in general, so then it's not weather specific. So the run I'm covering is the tank run. So MHT-3C Retaliator, and the player is Kyoshiro. So let's take a look. So one thing he did at the very beginning that I really liked is that he does the SMG weapon to deal some chip damage to tank at the beginning, and then he actually does 2 weapon rotations, which will boost the next combo attack that Lantern does. So he did 1 weapon rotation already, and then there's going to be 1 more after that. So it's quite tight to fit the second one in, because right after that, he'll have to swap the Thelema, and then I think probably gain 1 Banquet Enjoyment. There's enough time to get 1, and then he'll have to ult right after in order to dodge spam against tank's opening attack. There's an evade that happens before the ult, and then it's just going to be dodge spamming. Actually, not really a lot of dodge spamming. There was, let's count how many there were. Might have to slow it down a bit because it happens so quickly. Oops, not quality. Speed. Like half is probably good enough. Okay, so 74 SP. Wait, that's already in time slot, sorry. Okay, here we go. Oh man, maybe half speed is actually not enough. This is actually really tight. Okay, so 126. 128. And then 1 evasion for +2. And then another 2. Hold on a minute. This is actually really hard to see. Okay, let's actually slow it down a bit more. Okay, so 128. And then that's... Okay, because I've heard of double evasion registering, which is +4. I've never seen a +6, so this is actually quite interesting. So that's the first one. +2. And then another 2 more. So there's probably a evasion, jump, evasion going on here, but I don't think you can fit that in such a short amount of time. I'm actually not sure what's happening. 6 SP. Yeah, I've only seen 4 personally, so that's quite interesting already. So another basic 3. This is for more indulgence damage. So 2 of these were basic 3, and then the 5th one was filled with evasion. So 79 up to 85. So another +6. So he does triple evasions, which is quite interesting. I've actually only ever done double. So already I learned something new even during this commentary, because I actually didn't watch it this closely before. Okay, and then Lantern comes in combo attack. So this is going to be a 2 weapon rotation combo attack. So that's why the damage might be a little bit higher than what some other S0 runs might have done. And then this is the part that I wanted to cover in more detail, because the Stellar Outburst rotation is actually very interesting. So we do the combo attack first, followed by the Shadow Assist QT, and then ult. So he starts with crossbow, so there's no weapon swap at the beginning. You always start with crossbow when you sell outburst, so he chooses to stay on crossbow. And then he'll probably just weapon rotate immediately to the shotgun. So the shotgun, the weapon rotation does one hit. So that's the first hit, that's from the weapon rotation. Then she'll do basic one. So basic one shotgun is 2 hits. So 1, 2. And then what a lot of players commonly do is they will evade out of the shotgun 1 and then weapon rotate again. If you do shotgun 2, there is a huge interval between shotgun 1 and 2. So it's actually really, really slow. It takes a long time to come out. And then you will end up weapon rotating way too late. The cooldown will be up, but you're still going to be stuck in the animation of doing shotgun 2. And the reason why that's bad is because if you actually weapon rotate as quickly as possible, there will be enough time to fit in one more weapon rotation at the very, very end of Stellar Outburst. That is actually going to be a lot more damage than doing the shotgun 2 basic. So it's going to be weapon rotate shotgun 1 hit, shotgun basic 1, which is 2 hits, and then 1 evasion, and then weapon rotate. So that's the evasion, then weapon rotation. SMG is just you hold A until you weapon rotate. It's really, really straightforward. So now is crossbow again. So this is the part that I saw for the first time, and that is usually I just do crossbow basics, and I don't really, I never really pay too much attention to it. But Kyoshiro actually does double evasion, and I asked him about it specifically, and it's mainly to do more damage. I think it also helped him time something specific for later on. I'm not actually 100% sure about that, but it does stabilize your damage a little bit more to do it this way. Because if tank attacks you and then Lantern gets interrupted during her crossbow basic string and then does an evasion anyway, it's gonna make your damage a little bit unsteady. So it was 1 basic and then 2 evasions. Let's rewatch that since it goes by so quickly. Oh man. Okay. Okay, it's actually very hard to see because I can't go back the right amount. Okay. So 1 basic, evasion 1, evasion 2, and then weapon rotate. So why 1 basic? I actually didn't spot that before, but now that I see it, I do know why. If we go to Lantern's in-game stats, which is, here we go. So Lantern's basic with the crossbow, the first hit is actually 200%, and then the second hit is 2 shots. It's 95 times 2, which is actually only 190, so it's actually less than basic 1. And then the third one is 4 times 86, which is, I can't do the math in my head right now. But basically, the first hit actually does the best damage for the time cost because she shoots instantly. And then right after she shoots, you can go do something else. And so that's why you squeeze in the basic 1 first, and then you do the double evasion. So it's actually really, really good that he did that. I'm actually not sure how much evasion does. We can quickly check. But it's also going to be different depending on the weapon you use too. So with rapid shot crossbow, the 6 times 61 for an evasion, which would be 366, right? So that's actually pretty good for the amount of time that it takes. So basic 1, double evasion. So use it for damage. Whoops. Okay, I don't think I need to come back here anymore. I had that screen prepared because I knew I was going to talk about the basic for the crossbow. Okay, so back to this. So that was the shotgun basic. That's why it's 2 hits, and then it'll be evasion, and then SMG again. So we're familiar with that. So now the next crossbow. Crossbow is where he uses the second QTE to refresh the shadow. So most likely because so the reason why we do this is because it's not because crossbow is the worst weapon, so we should not use it and put the Shadow Summon QTE over the crossbow and then prioritize using the other 2 weapons, the shotgun and the SMG. It's actually because if you use the crossbow, say you did crossbow basic 1 here, then double evasion, and then you swap to shotgun, you'll have to use your QTE Shadow Summon then because your shadow buff, Rondo in the Shadows, is going to run out. And then it's not really, really good idea to use it on the shotgun because what ends up happening is you will weapon rotate too slow because the weapon rotation to shotgun has a long animation. So you'll weapon rotate to shotgun, Lantern will do her shot, and then she'll do her QTE summon. And then by the time the animation of that finishes, you will be late for the weapon rotation. Whereas the weapon rotation to crossbow is really, really quick. She does that spin that she normally does, and then crossbow one is really fast, as you know, she just does one shot, and then she's actionable right after that. So then you can summon much earlier. So even if you watch this in slower motion, you'll be able to see what I mean. So 25%. So the summon animation is going, and then the cooldown is almost up on the weapon I do. So you see it's already available right here. So you can actually use it already. So that's why crossbow is the best attack to use the QT summon on, is because you will be able to make the weapon rotation cooldown most effectively. All right, so back to normal. So next is going to be the shotgun again. So you'll see the weapon rotation, one hit. That's that one. And then the basic one, which is 2 hits. I guess he got attacked though, so he was forced to evade. So unintentional evasions. But you can't really deal with that, control that when you're fighting tank. Okay, and then SMG. And then the next crossbow. Probably quite a few of you are familiar with this already. But if you do Lantern's combo attack by jumping manually first, it's a lot faster than if you just hold A while she's standing on the ground. And the reason why we do the combo attack on the crossbow is similar to why we use the QTE shadow summon on the crossbow, is because right after the weapon rotation, she does one shot and it's really, really quick, and she's actionable right after that. So then it makes it very, very easy to time your jump. So right now, Lantern does the weapon rotation and then she can jump right away. So you see like that, the basic one, no, not the basic one, sorry, the crossbow weapon rotation shot happens so quick that she can already jump. So it makes it really, really easy and efficient to do it this way. So manual jump input and then hold A in the air for the combo attack. And then let's take a look at how the cooldowns are going. So there will be a shotgun rotation next. So 1 hit, 2 hits, and then evasion, and then SMG. So you can see that there's just barely enough time to fit in one more weapon rotation right before Stellar Outburst expired right now. And that's only if you do the shotgun cancels. If you do the shotgun basic 2, it'll take too much time. You won't make this. So he does one more switch into the crossbow. So Lantern does weapon rotation into crossbow. She does a really, really quick crossbow attack. The vestige that she summons from this weapon rotation is the previous weapon. So it's actually going to be the SMG one. So the SMG one stays in the field and does multiple hits from her SMG weapon. And then that's really, really important because of the weather. So this is the weather specific thing. So after this weapon rotation, because she was going to use the ultimate. So we'll watch the ultimate play out. Then I'm going to have to slow the video down because all this happens really, really quickly. Maybe 25% again. So now you should be able to see the SMG vestige still attack. So it's at the top right here with the SMG and it's doing multiple hits. So you see it's still shooting. The SMG is still shooting. Pew, 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 pew. And then he swaps Stellima in and then it's still shooting. Pew, 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 pew. So why is this important? It is because if you look at the weather effect, characters deal 30% more total damage when Shadow Star attack hits. So it only affects the character on the field, not the whole party. So what's happening now is the Shadow Star, which is the Lantern Phantom, is hitting the enemy, hitting tank, while Thelema is on the field. So Thelema actually gets this buff. So you have to time the rotation very carefully so that Thelema can swap in while the Phantom is still attacking. So it's easiest with the SMG. It doesn't work with other weapons because they just do a really, really quick, instantaneous attack. So that after Lantern does her ultimate, I think that's it. There's no more attacking. But the SMG lasts the longest. So I think it's the only weapon that can actually trigger this. So now Thelema gets the buff. And how can we confirm that? We can just take a look at her damage. So she'll do Moment of Indulgence. And it does 1.2 million. You can see at the bottom here. See if I can get it unblocked by the... Oh, can't because of those buff icons. There you go, 1,279,221. So in one of the runs I recorded on this cycle, I didn't play this cycle because I didn't have time. I just did one quick run, but I did record it just in case I needed to come back to it to look at something. So I'm glad I did because now I can see my damage. So it's this one right here. How much damage do you think I do compared to Kyoshiro's? So this is the damage without the buff. Oops. There, 830k. And he did 1.2 million. So it's almost 50% damage increase. And it's not just going to be for this hit. It's going to be for the next 15 seconds that Thelema is on the field doing damage. So it's a really, really big buff. You're increasing Thelema's damage by 50% if you do this correctly. So this is very, very powerful tool to know. And there's only two weathers where you'll really use this in, which is tank and RPC, because they're both shadow weather. So if you're not using Alicia and you're still using Lantern, this is a good thing to make note of. Oh, let's not watch the rest of that. 25% there, back to normal. So I think that's pretty much all I had to say about the video, because the rest of the run is just basically the same thing one more time. You'll be able to see everything I just highlighted, all the tech that I discussed with how Lantern is played during Stellar Outburst. So I don't think I have much else to say, so I'll just let the rest of the run play out. And if I notice anything that I haven't mentioned, then I'll pause and talk about it. Oh, actually, one thing. Right now she ulted at 42. Let's see if her buff is still up. That's actually a pretty big deal too. So Thelema's here, so she'll get the buff for 15 seconds. We're at 27 on the top right timer. 28. Okay, I'll give it 28 since it just hit the 28. So if we add 15 to this, it's going to be 43. Okay, so he probably still has it for this. So this is still 50% more Thelema damage. So 50% more Thelema damage on this. Maybe not actually. That only did 900. No, actually, no, that's fine. It should be weaker because the previous Moment of Indulgence was 6 stacks of refill from Stellar Outburst. This Moment of Indulgence, a lot of the stacks were filled from Evasion. So it's going to be a lot weaker. I think the buff should still be up though. Yeah, I can't confirm 100%, but based on the time, it should be. So I won't repeat myself, but Lantern is doing everything that I mentioned earlier. So Thelema will get the buff again because she's on the field already, and then Lantern is still shooting the SMG. So that means this will also do the 1.2 million damage again. And there you have it, it's at the bottom, 1.2 million damage, Moment of Indulgence. And then this entire ult as well, and everything he does in it is also boosted by pretty much 50%. So really, 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 really good. So 747. So all the optimizations on Lantern Stellar Outburst cycle, and then also giving Thelema the weather buff, made him do a lot more damage than any other run that I've seen. When I played this, I think I got 720 something with the same team. And I should have been able to get the score because I think this video is from It's either this was on my account, or if it wasn't, it was on a C account with SSS Serapeum, which is the same as for NA, because NA was, I think, 2 disturbance lower, but the damage is the same if you derank Serapeum by 1S, so double S instead of triple S Serapeum. So the run still worked in NA with 1 less rank Serapeum, is basically what I'm saying. So no one was close to this score. So it was a really, really huge improvement in score just from a couple little details because it improves Lantern and Thelema damage by quite a lot. So that's what made making this video worth it, in my opinion, to share with people, because I think it's pretty good knowledge and it'll probably help. But it'll only be useful for people who are not using Alicia, because I'm pretty sure she will completely destroy these bosses. If your Lantern is still S0, she's not going to be used. And that's it. So let's just watch the rest of it. Watch Lantern's victory screen for all the Lantern Nation fans. Lantern Nation Raw. Oh, there's no victory screen. Sorry, guys.